Time with She Brew Royalty features remedies for inner healing and outer beauty. Real-time conversations with sisters in the Hebrew Israelite community, focused on healing our spirit, mind, and body, which will contribute to the healing of our nation as a whole. Sip a cup of tea, wear your favorite turban, tee, or tunic, and enjoy tea time with She Brew Royalty. Time with She Brew Royalty features remedies for inner healing and outer beauty. Real-time conversations with sisters in the Hebrew Israelite community, focused on healing our spirit, mind, and body, which will contribute to the healing of our nation as a whole. Sip a cup of tea, wear your favorite turban, tee, or tunic, and enjoy tea time with She Brew Royalty. She Brew Royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. She Brew Royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit. She Brew Royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. She Brew Royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit.
Shalom, 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 sisters, shalom, shalom. Come on in, sisters, come on in. Let's see who is here. I know Sister Adana is here, Sister Althea is here. Wow, is Sister Phyllis here, Sister Carla here yet? Oh my goodness, they were early today. Sister Carla and Sister Phyllis, they dropped me a note early today. Wow, shalom. As you come in, please do me a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever we go live. If you haven't already done so, come on in. Let's get this She Brew Royal Tea Party started. Shalom, Sister Carla. The water, sis. Thank you. The water. All praises to the Most High. The water. The water. How are you doing? How are you all doing out there? How are you all doing out there? I know you're doing great. I know you all look beautiful and radiant and regal and royal. I know you do. I can see you. But before we go any further, let's do what we do every Sunday in the beginning. Let's get this royal party started correctly. Let us give a huge shout out to the Almighty, AHAYAH ASHAR AHAYAH, I am that I am, the God of the Hebrews and the Shebrews, in the name of His Son YASHAYA HaMashiach, whom the world calls Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit, Rawach Qadash. I am your hostess, Qala Yakachaa, and I humbly thank you for joining me on this amazing broadcast today. So, oh my goodness, Sister Sierra is here, Aqua Sierra, the Regal Royal Aqua. Shalom. Sister Ahab Karab is here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The water for being on time, you all. The water, thank you all for being on time. Talk to me. How was your week? How was your week? I always want to know how your week went. Was it relaxing? Was it busy? Was it productive? Busy and productive and relaxing. All of the above. All of the above, right? How was your Shabbat? How was your Sabbath? The water, sis, the water. All praises to the Most High, the water. I know you are too, sis, as usual. As usual, the water. So my week was relaxing. It was busy and productive. You know, we have to have that balance. We have to have that balance. There were some days there where the relaxing part wasn't happening so much because I was so busy. But I have decided, you know, got to have that balance, got to have the relaxation, the busyness, the productivity, all of that. Yes. So I am happy to say that I had an amazing week. Sister Carla said, filled with grace, all praises. That's an excellent way to describe your week. Filled with grace. Amen. Amen. And all of us must have had a very graceful week, right? Because we are here. We are here by His grace and His mercy. So thank you for that reminder, sis. Thank you for that reminder. Yes. So let us get these disclaimers out of the way. Sister Aparat says, Khan, sis, so good to see you. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in. Before moving forward in this discussion, I must make these disclaimers, okay? So let me start by saying what Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty is not. It is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. But if you happen upon this channel and you realize that you don't agree with our beliefs or our lifestyles, it's okay to keep searching YouTube until you find your perfect cup of tea. You owe that to yourself, and I am sure that if you keep searching, you will also find your perfect flavor. What I do ask is that you not leave any insults or derogatory statements in the chat box, because that would be distasteful. We would really appreciate it, and we thank you in advance. Sister Ahab Karat said, just got done playing dodgeball with the Kingdom Builders. So much fun. I know, sis. I know it was. I know it was an amazing time, and I am so sorry I missed it. Sundays are just so jam-packed for me. It's so jam-packed that it's difficult for me to make it to those events. But, you know, one day I'm definitely going to have to be there for one of those events because you all have so much fun. You all have so much fun, and I always miss out. I always miss out. So, yeah, we're going to have to plan in advance. But I am telling you, after Shabbat last night, when I came home, I still did not know what the topic for tonight was going to be. I had 2 topics picked out, and we'll go into exactly what happened. We'll go into that caused me to pick this topic. And it wasn't until I had just thrown my hands up and said, I don't know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, and I'm going to bed. And I just knew that it would come to me. That's how the Holy Spirit always works. So once I relaxed and I said, I'm just going to go to bed, this topic came to me. And why? Why did that topic come to me? Because guess what? I struggle with the topic of tonight's show. I struggle with that. And the last couple of days has been just that. Today is much better. But the previous couple of days, I was dealing with that. And it was like, oh, well, this definitely is a topic that needs to be discussed because so many of us deal with this. And so I'm going to go into that in just a few minutes. But that is how I ended up with this topic for tonight. So let me continue with these disclaimers. Although I am a certified licensed physician assistant and functional nutrition informed professional, and I will be touching on topics of health and wellness on my broadcast, as I will be tonight, we will not be utilizing this platform to diagnose or treat anyone's illnesses. If you are experiencing any medical problems whatsoever, please consult your healthcare practitioner. And the views that you will hear on this channel are the views of myself or my guests, and not those of any particular church or organization. That being said, let me introduce you to my guardian doc, because as much as we don't like to, sometimes it is necessary for us to seek out medical care. So I would like to share with you another option to keep in mind. myguardiandoc.com. And for more information, please visit the website, myguardiandoc.com. But in the meantime, let's take a look at this video.
Life can throw unexpected curveballs. When it comes to your family's health, you need someone in your corner. Introducing My Guardian Doc, your virtual medicine program provides compassionate medical guidance and world-class care around the clock. Within minutes, talk to a licensed physician. We are My Guardian Doc. All our doctors are guided by our Patient Safety and Care Equity Council, whose mission is to ensure you receive safe and equitable care. For just $27 per month, your entire household gains access to a team of dedicated medical professionals. Whether it's just sniffles or sneezes, medication refills, or a question about diagnosis or treatment, or the need to speak to a behavioral health specialist in the privacy of your home, no concern is too big or too small. My Guardian Doc is here to help you. No surprise fees, no hidden costs, just quality care when you need it most. With My Guardian Doc, for just $27 per month, your entire household's associated benefits include immediately lower micromort count, which is your 1 in a million chance of dying, on-demand access to doctors, reduce healthcare costs, improve healthcare outcomes, decreased visits to the hospital or emergency room, increase your lifespan, and gain peace of mind knowing your family's health is always protected. From urgent care, primary care, medical guidance, prescription discounts, hospital bill negotiation, and much more, My Guardian Doc is here for you every step of the way. Millions of people have expressed a need for My Guardian Doc. Join the fastest growing subscription service. Visit myguardiandoc.com to subscribe today, because your family's health deserves the best.
So that is myguardiandoc.com. And as the video states, visit myguardiandoc.com. And if you want to sign up for coverage, you can find the subscription link for Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty viewers in the description box just below this video. All right, let's keep this moving. Let us keep this moving. If you haven't already done so, sisters, please hit that like button right now. Give me that thumbs up, that like button. Share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't already done so. I hope that you're wearing your favorite turban, tee, tunic, or dress. And that being said, let's sip some tea and have healthy talk. Let's get this royal tea party started. Let us do that. So let us, I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, maybe it's been 3 weeks now. I think it's been 3 weeks since I premiered my website. And so I am going to continue to remind you all about HebrewRoyalty.com. I hope that you've had an opportunity to check it out, but if you haven't, let's take a moment, and I'm just going to go through this really quickly just so you can see some of our offerings. And like I mentioned last week, we are still going through some transitions with our products. So you'll see some changes in the upcoming weeks. But in the meantime, let's just check it out and see what changes have occurred. Let us see what HebrewRoyalty.com is all about. How many of you have actually checked out the website? How many of you have checked out the website? And what do you think? What do you think about the products? Talk to me. What do you think? Is there something that you would like to see that's not on there? Maybe, who knows? I may be able to deliver. You don't know until you ask. So let's bring this up on the screen. This is Hebrew Royalty LLC, HebrewRoyalty.com. And we're all about inner healing and vitality and outer radiance and beauty, sacred self-care for the royal woman. And here we go. This is the homepage, Discover Hebrew Royalty, and it just goes into who we are, our products, the Hebrew Royal Teas, our story, and our Hebrew Royal Teas, which is a luxurious range of temple treasures, bath soaks, body scrubs, lip balms, body butters, hair oil, and outerwear is coming soon. And last week I mentioned that the teas that were on here were taken down. Why? Because these were in their liquid form, and it's very difficult to ship. Not just difficult, but expensive to ship teas and drinks in the liquid form, right? So we are now just working on what has always been my goal, which is the loose leaf teas. So those are coming soon. As a matter of fact, I'm just waiting on one of the ingredients to get here, one last ingredient to get here. And next week, I should have both the Hebrew Royal Tea to premiere and also the Hebrew Royal Tea. And we also have another couple of brands. One is Hebrew Royal Femininity, and then we have the Hebrew Royal Masculinity. I know. I know y'all can't wait to try them, right? But I can't wait to get them out there to you. So get on this website, check out what we have come in. And we still have the sorrel, which is in the tea bag form that you can make at home. I ship you the dry ingredients, you add the water, you add your sweetener, and voila, you have this amazing sorrel, which is a delicious and super healthy Caribbean beverage, Benjamite beverage. All right, so that is it for the teas, but let's go over to the temple treasures. And like I said, I'm just going to go through these really quickly. And we have the luxurious bath soaks, and you can go through the list here, and all of the ingredients are listed so you will know exactly what you are putting on your body. And all of the ingredients are organic and natural. So you know these products are pretty safe unless you have any sensitivities or allergies to the ingredients, which is why I was sure to put all of the ingredients on there so you know exactly what you are putting on your skin. So Look at some of the ingredients: Dead Sea salt, fine Himalayan pink salt, Epsom salt, baking soda, dried rose petals and lavender buds, dried chamomile flowers, and essential oils, frankincense and myrrh. And that's the Royal Renewal Bath Soak. And when you go through the list, you will see that it's just a bunch of good stuff that you are putting on your body. And I'm telling you, they smell amazing. And your body is going to love you. Your skin is going to love you when you use these products because they are so nourishing for the skin. So look at the Royal Awakening. We're talking about, still the Epsom salt, the base for most of them. Most of them are the same, but then you have the essential oils. This is a sweet orange, the bergamot, the frankincense, rosemary, and ginger. And then some have the lavender buds. Others have rose petals, calendula petals. And the Sacred Glow, this one, if you want a deep detox, this is the one that you want right here. It's a luxurious skin nourishing bath. It's a bath soak infused with sacred botanicals and oils for deep detox, radiance, and relaxation and renewal. And the Sacred Glow bath soak contains the fine Himalayan pink salt, coarse Himalayan pink salt, Dead Sea salt, coconut milk powder, bentonite clay, dried calendula petals, and dried chamomile flowers. And the essential oils are sandalwood, rose, jasmine, and vanilla. So let's not even talk about the luxurious lavender bath soak. Oh my goodness. Absolutely amazing. And here's Sacred Sensuality bath soak. And let's talk about the face and body scrubs and butters. We have the Melanin Majesty facial scrub. And this Melanin Majesty facial scrub is designed specifically for Black women, formulated to enhance melanin-rich skin with deep, nourishing, gentle exfoliation and radiant hydration. It's exotic and skin-loving. And the key benefits is brightening and evening your skin tone, gentle exfoliation, detoxes, and purifies the skin. And look at the ingredients: raw manuka honey, turmeric powder, organic brown sugar, moringa powder, black seed oil, and baobab oil. Essential oils are frankincense and myrrh, lang lang, vanilla absolute, and patchouli. I mean, these essential oils are top of the line. We're not using cheap products here or cheap ingredients, right? What you are getting is, look, we're talking about raw manuka honey. We know that's not cheap stuff. Why? Because you're royalty. That's why, because you are royalty and you deserve the best for your temple. You just do. So treat it like the royalty that it is. And then there's the Royal Glow facial scrub, and this one is for acne-prone skin. And so this one helps to combat breakouts while keeping the skin hydrated, bright, and balanced. And the key benefits is gentle exfoliation, hydration, and like I mentioned, helps combat breakouts. So if you suffer from acne breakouts, this is so good for your skin, but we also still need to talk about cleaning up the gut, right? Because the skin is a reflection of what is going on in the gut. It detoxifies and it purifies. And the ingredients: aloe vera gel, vegetable glycerin, turmeric powder, moringa powder, white willow bark powder, neem oil, black seed oil, and baobab oil. And the essential oil in here is the tea tree oil. And then we have melanated sugar and spice body scrub. Wow. If you want a glow, If you want a glow, this melanated sugar and spice body scrub with organic brown sugar, cold pressed extra virgin olive oil. And I don't know if you use olive oil on your skin much, but our skin loves olive oil, and olive oil loves our skin. And you can tell when you use a scrub, and once you rinse it off and your skin is just glowing. It also has cinnamon powder and vanilla extract, and the essential oils are cinnamon and cloves. And there's salt of the earth, royal body scrub, another amazing body scrub, Dead Sea salt, Himalayan pink salt, brown sugar, organic coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, jojoba oil, sweet almond oil, raw honey, organic dried rose petals, and organic ground cinnamon. And the essential oils are frankincense and myrrh. When I say this stuff smells good, it's delicious. You're going to have to restrain yourself from trying to eat these body scrubs. That's how good they smell. They smell delicious. And then there are the body butters. There's the Royal Radiance body butter. And once again, the base ingredients for the body butters are the same: the raw shea butter, mango butter, coconut oil, rose hip seed oil, arrowroot powder. And the essential oils in the Royal Radiance is sweet orange, lemongrass, and jasmine. And then there's the Melanin Majesty. And the essential oils here are Lang Lang, vanilla extract, and patchouli. And then there's the Sacred Calm body butter. And the essential oils are lavender, sandalwood, and clary sage. And this hair oil, I have been getting so many compliments on this hair oil. This Royal Crown and Glory hair growth oil. It is so amazing. It can be used as a detangler. It can be used on your scalp. It can be used as a hot oil treatment. It promotes hair growth, thickness, and scalp health. It stimulates hair follicles, reduces breakage, enhances moisture retention. And like I said, it's a moisture sealer and also a hot oil treatment. And here are the ingredients: fenugreek seed, moringa powder, nettle leaf, Jamaican black castor oil, pumpkin seed oil, baobab oil, jojoba oil, grapeseed oil, amla oil, horsetail grass extract. And if you research those oils, you will see that all of those oils have properties for hair growth and scalp health. The essential oils are jasmine, sambac, sweet orange, frankincense, rosemary, peppermint, lavender, and cedarwood. And the combination of these oils, and not just the essential oils, but the other oils as well, the combination, once again, it smells so good. It's such a pleasant smell. And then here's the lip balm. At this current time, we have the Mint Essence Lip Balm, but the goal is to bring other flavors in. This one is made from beeswax pellets, shea butter, coconut oil, sweet almond oil, and vitamin E oil. And the essential oil in here is peppermint. All right. And this lip balm is so good for your lips. It acts as a barrier, sealing in moisture while shielding the lips from harsh weather, from pollutants, and sun exposure. So There are no oil glands in your lips, so we need to keep our lips moisturized. And this lip balm is amazing. So let's just jump over here to the store, and this is where you will come to make purchases. And everything is set up for you to just click on the link, make your purchases, and we will get your order out to you within 1 to 2 days. And here are some of the pictures of what you will be ordering. Body butters, everything on there. And let me show you currently, the only tea that's on here is the Sorrel Royal Tea Bag. And this is what it comes packaged as. And basically it comes with the dry hibiscus flowers in here. The spices are in this bag, and then there's cinnamon sticks in here, and everything that you need to make your sorrel other than your water, your sweetener. And for some people that like to put some vanilla essence in there, that is the only thing that you will have to add to this. And I am telling you, and you can drink this hot or cold, just absolutely delicious. So that is an overview of ShebrewRoyalty.com from Shebrew Royalty LLC. So, sisters, take some time to go visit the website and place an order. Place an order. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. And for those of you that have already sampled some of the products, talk to me. Tell me what do you think? What do you think about this? Let me see what y'all have been saying. Oh my goodness, I missed so much because I was just, going through everything there. But let me see what I said. Let me see I'm scrolling up to get caught up. Shalom, Sister Jazzy. Shalom, beautiful. Back to you. Shalom. My sister Althea says, I have. It's an awesome website. Thank you so much, sis. Thank you so much. Sister Sierra says, so beautiful. The water, sis. The water. Sister Jazzy gives me all praises. Shalom, Sister Princess. Sister Sierra, Sister Sierra, or beautiful Koloki, is Regal Royal. That bath soak, Regal Royalty, was taken from an inspiration from Sister Sierra. I talk about this all the time, right? And she says the bath soaps are absolutely amazing. I love mine so much. All praises, sis, the water for that. It's so gorgeous. Website is given Lux and Royal, my beautiful Benjamite. The water, sis, I cannot wait to order the hair products for my locks. Yes, we're going to talk about that. We still have to talk about that, Sister Carla. So yes, let us talk about that because I can't wait to see what your locks are already down to here. Okay? You have some locks. And so I can't wait for you to try it. I can't wait for you to try it and let me know what you think. Sister Adana says, I miss purchasing with you at the Lion's Den, so I'm definitely going to order the scrubs. All praises, sis, the water. Sheesh. Sister Aqua Sierra says, sheesh, the face scrub. My whole family is using my scrub. All praises, sis. Isn't that scrub amazing? That face scrub? Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, it is absolutely amazing. I put that on my face, and when I rinse it off, my face, it's just a glow. It's a glow. Sister Phyllis says, Shalom to all my beautiful sisters. Praying all is well. Shalom, Sister Phyllis. Welcome. Sister Carla says, I'm ordering the whole store. Let me get all my coins together. Oh my goodness. It is a lot. It is a lot, but wait until the teas are on there, and then wait until the bags are on there, because I'm working on some, of course, some luxurious looking bags, some luxurious bags, because we can't just put anything on Shebrew royalty. It's got to look royal. So I'm not half stepping over here. Sister Adana says, can the locals order personally or only on the website? No, I actually prefer that the locals order personally, because if you go on the website, and thanks for asking that question, Sister Adana. If you go on that website, it will charge you a delivery, and I will have to go and mail it. I will have to take it to the post office and mail it out to you when you can actually pick it up. You're right here, or I can bring it to Shabbat. So I prefer that you order personally if you are in the local area, so you're not charged a delivery fee and I have to put it, take it to the post office to have it delivered. So the Water Sisters, all right. So that is ShebrewRoyalty.com. The Water, for all of your support. I truly appreciate you all. You all have been with me through this entire process. So you've seen the ups, the downs. Well, there wasn't really downs, right? There were a lot of ups. I've had to put the website on hold for a minute, but other than that, there really hasn't been any downs. It's all actually been all praises to the Most High. It's actually been a really awesome journey. So I really do feel that this was a gift to me from the Most High. I really feel that way. And now I can pass that gift on to you all. So the Water for hanging with me. So speaking of teas, sisters, what is your cup of tea tonight? Y'all know I have to ask. I have to ask because sometimes I just got to get a little nosy and, want to know what's in your cup. So talk to me. Tell me what's in your cup. Oh, Ayandabar, Sister Adina. Ayandabar. What's in your cup tonight? What's your cup of tea? I got to ask. Not only because I'm nosy, but because I care. I want to know what you're sipping on, and maybe, who knows, I'm sure that you will inspire me to get another tea. Sister Adana, just water right now. Okay, I know how you do it, sis. I know how you do with your water, of course. And so my cup of tea tonight is a peppermint, ginger, and chamomile tea blend. So these three herbs are known for their digestive health benefits. And for the past couple of days, like I mentioned earlier, the Most High knows I needed it. I needed it. Hence our topic tonight, because I am telling you, my gut had been acting up. So I had to have, like I said, it's a blend of peppermint, ginger, and chamomile to just soothe my belly, Sister Aparat says, looking forward to using your products, sis. I had some nettle tea a little while ago. Just water now. All right, so nettle tea is good. And the water, sis, the water. Yes. Like I was telling Sister Adana, those of you that are right here, just hit me up and let me know, and I'll make sure that you get your products. All praises. So here's a video by Dr. Samir Islam, And this video is 8 herbal teas that help stomach bloating. And that may just be what the doctor ordered. I know it was for me. Not to go into too much detail, but yes, the topic tonight is very appropriate for where I've been the last few days. So let us watch this video. It's called 8 Herbal Teas That Help Stomach Bloating. That may be, and I'm just saying that may be just what the doctor ordered. And this is by Dr. Samir Islam. Here goes.
What can you do naturally to help out with bloating? Well, in this video today, I'm going to give you the top 8 herbal teas that I recommend for my patients who have bloating. Guys, if you are having bloating issues, this video is for you. Let's talk about food. Howdy, y'all. Dr. Islam here, gastroenterologist, aka your poop guru, trying to give you the best tips and tricks to help out with your health. If you haven't yet, for goodness sake, subscribe to my YouTube channel, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my weekly newsletter where you get more information to help out with your gut. Bloating. The bane of your existence and my existence. There are a lot of reasons why people can have bloating. In this video today, I'm going to give you the top 8 herbal teas that I recommend to help soothe that stomach and help out with bloating issues they may be having. Before we begin, number 1, make sure you speak to your healthcare provider about whether you should start taking an herbal medication or an herbal tea to help out with your gut issues. And number 2, keep in mind, none of these teas have been studied in humans, so we don't have a lot of good clinical evidence or medical research behind this. A lot of this is based on information on experiments in the lab with animal models, and so we do not have a lot of good clinical research. I want to stress this before we even begin. Number 1, peppermint tea. I love peppermint tea, and I use a lot of peppermint capsules for a lot of my patients who complain of IBS, bloating, and upset stomach. It is a very effective, and this actually has medical research behind this in terms of helping out with gut issues. But peppermint tea is very effective to help out with bloating. Laboratory studies and animal studies show that peppermint tea is high in what's called flavonoids, and flavonoids help to inhibit cells in the GI tract called mast cells, and mast cells can cause a lot of gut issues, including diarrhea, bloating, and indigestion. So the way to make this tea is I recommend using 1 tablespoon or 1.5 grams of dried peppermint leaves. You can also use a tea bag or even 3 tablespoons, which is 17 grams of fresh peppermint leaves to 1 cup of boiled water. Let it sit there for some time and then enjoy that sippiness and that peppermint tea after a couple minutes after the tea has steeped in that water. Tea number 2 is lemon balm. So lemon balm is a particular tea that has some lemon in it with a small little hint of mint. It's within the mint family as well. And there is some good evidence that lemon balm can help out with some mild digestive issues, including bloating, flatulence, abdominal pain, and discomfort. So keep in mind that lemon balm has not been studied in humans, so we actually don't know the clinical effectiveness for humans to have this. But my clinical experience and for other people has shown that lemon balm tends to help out with some gut issues that people are having. To make this tea, use 1 tablespoon or 3 grams of dried lemon balm tea or leaves, or you can use 1 tea bag, boil it in hot water for 10 minutes, and enjoy that lemon balm tea. Tea number 3 is wormwood. Yes, that is a weird name, but wormwood is actually within the class of what are called bitter roots, what have been shown in some studies, not a lot, to help out with gut issues. Now, it's a bitter tea, so it's a very acquired taste. I have tried it, and it's not for me, but there are some people who actually have some benefit having some of that bitter taste to help out with some of their gut issues. So there are some human studies which use 1 gram of wormwood capsules to help out with some gut issues that people have, including indigestion and bloating. Now, the idea of using this herb and some of these bitter herbs is that by Inducing a bitter taste, you release digestive enzymes, which can help out with indigestion and digestion as well. So basically make this tea, add 1 tablespoon or a tea leaf, add it in boiled water, and sip that bitter tea. Now keep in mind, it has a bitter taste, so see if you like this taste or not. It may be an acquired taste. Tea number 4, ginger. I love ginger tea. In fact, I have ginger tea pretty much every single night. It is used for a lot of GI issues, including nausea, abdominal pain, and bloating. Now, ginger's been around for a long time, and if you read some of the ancient books on medicine, they actually talk about using ginger as a way to help out with nausea. And a typical dose for nausea is either 1 or 1.5 grams of a capsule to help out with nausea symptoms. Additionally, ginger supplements may speed up stomach emptying, help out with cramping and bloating, and certainly, like I mentioned before, nausea. Now, keep in mind, a lot of the studies with ginger did not actually use ginger tea. They use either ginger extract or ginger capsules instead. A couple different ways you can make this. One is to use 1/4 or 1/2 teaspoon of coarsely powdered dried ginger root, or you can use 1 tablespoon of fresh sliced ginger and add that to water and use that and boil that. That's my preference. I actually like to use the ginger root itself. I like just the natural authenticity of using actually ginger root. Now keep in mind, ginger can have a spicy flavor, so you may want to soften that by either adding a lemon or some honey. Number 5, fennel tea. Seeds of fennel have been used for a lot of gut issues, mainly in the Middle East, where it's used a lot to help out with constipation. But there is some evidence to suggest that this can actually help out with bloating and indigestion as well. In fact, in nursing home residents who had chronic constipation, if they drank 1 serving of herbal fennel seeds every single day, they actually averaged about 4 bowel movements per day. So my recommendation is to use the fennel seeds themselves, buy the seeds, crush them up, steep them in tea for about 10 or 15 minutes, then use that liquid and drink that liquid only. If you don't want to use that, certainly you can use a tea bag as well. Number 6, gentian root. This once again is in the class of bitter roots. Initially, this tea can taste sweet, but it does have a bitter taste to it. And once again, these bitter plants help to promote digestive juices, which we think can help out with indigestion, stomach emptying, and pain. However, there's one cautionary take with this particular tea, is that if you have a stomach ulcer, there is some evidence that this tea can actually increase the acidity. So make sure you don't take this if there's a risk for an ulcer, or if you take medications that can induce ulcers, like non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medications. So to make this tea, use 1/4 or 1/2 teaspoon of the dried ginger root, steep it in hot water, and then have that good tea. Number 7, chamomile tea. I'm a huge advocate for chamomile tea. There's a lot of good evidence that this can help to relax you, help you sleep, and also help out with gut issues. And it's part of the daisy family. Who doesn't like daisies? Now, the chamomile flower is the part of the actual flower itself that has the most beneficial effect, not the root and not the stem. And so if you can pick the flower, that would be the best part where you can get the most bang for your buck. So if you have the dried chamomile, steep that in hot water for about 10 minutes, or you can use the chamomile tea bag as well. Number 8, angelica root. Once again, this is part of the bitter root class, so it can have that kind of pungent taste to it. But certainly if you want to steep this in lemon or honey, that can help sweeten it up. Now, there is evidence that this can actually also help out with constipation. So for some of my patients who have constipation issues, this is a tea I recommend for them as well. And a word of caution, there is some evidence that you should not use this tea if you're pregnant or you're breastfeeding. There is some problem associated with that. But use 1 tablespoon of the dried root per cup, steep it, and drink that tea. But these are the 8 ways that I recommend to help treat bloating naturally using teas. Make sure you speak to your healthcare provider to see if it would be safe for you to take these herbal treatments. My question of the day for you guys, have you tried these herbal teas? Are there any other herbal recommendations you recommend? Comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I want to thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my weekly newsletter where you can get more information to help out with your health. But guys, thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great and happy day.
Yeah, that was a lot of information, lots of different types of teas. Do you sisters have any preference? Any preference? when it comes to teas, gut health, for bloating. Shalom, sis, Sister Leola. Shalom. Oh my goodness. Good to see you. Shalom. Yeah, so like I said, I have the peppermint, what do I have in here? The chamomile, peppermint. What is my blend? Chamomile, peppermint. There was one other thing I put in here. Ginger. My ginger, chamomile, peppermint, and ginger. Yes, to soothe my belly, my gut. So, sisters, let's move on. Hit that like button. Sister Leola says, I love chamomile tea. Yes, it's so good. It's so good. And that's the one that has that calming effect to calm your belly down. Yes. So I love it all. I love the ginger, the peppermint, the chamomile. I haven't tried any of the bitter, the gentian or the wormwood. I haven't tried those. So, I grew up, my mother used to give us this bitter tea all the time. So it worked. I don't know what she called it, bush tea. I don't know what kind of bush it was. I can't replicate it because I don't know what that bush was that she used. I had never heard of Angelica root tea. I'm going to order that one. Yes, I had never heard of that either until he brought that out. So, yeah, let me know what you think. I think he said that one was also bitter. Yeah, that one was a bitter herb as well. But I'm telling you, we grew up on some bitter tea, some bitter bush tea. Yeah. But it really did work. It really did work. So, Yapa, what did you all think about last week's show, Matters of the Heart? What did you all think about that? Did you learn anything new? Or what was your main takeaway from last week's show with Matters of the Heart? What did you think about that? It was a lot of information, wasn't it? It was a lot of information. And for those of you that may not have seen last week's show, it is really important for us sisters to know this information because, one of the things that was pointed out is that when heart attacks occur in women, the majority of the time, the symptoms are not your classic pain in the chest radiating to the left arm, the sweating, the shortness of breath. Usually it presents differently, maybe a pain in the jaw or shoulder, right? So it presents differently. With the woman, it tends to be more subtle. Yeah, there was a lot of information last week and we talked about the box breathing. And so if you haven't seen last week's show, it's a very, very, very important show to watch. So I would recommend that you go back and watch that show. Sister Phyllis says, thanks for reminding me I need to watch that last one. Yes, it's a really good show. Even if not for ourselves, we never know when, someone close to us, or even if we're in a grocery store or what have you, and someone is having a cardiac event, you may be able to spot it and call 911 and get that person the help that they need. And like I mentioned, going into the CPR training that's coming up really soon. We're going to be doing that. I'm going to be offering CPR classes pretty soon. So stay tuned, sisters. Stay tuned. That being said, and without further ado, it's showtime, and not at the Apollo, but right here on Shebrew Royalty. Tea time with Shebrew Royalty. Let's jump right into tonight's show. I have a gut feeling this is going to be very informative and impactful and therapeutic as well, because we're not going to bring problems without solutions. So, tonight's show, gut feelings, navigating IBS and finding relief. And this one is like I mentioned earlier, it was pretty personal for me because I dealt with IBS for many, many years, and I've learned how really to keep it at bay. And we're going to talk about that tonight. But I got a little carried away with my food a couple of days ago, and I ate some things that I knew that I shouldn't have eaten, some that are my triggers. And we're going to go into that. We're going to go into what the triggers are and so on and so forth. But I did mention out of my little pain and suffering over here, this show came out of that. So this was not a labor of love. This was a labor of suffering. Anyhow, I'm much better today. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. So I am much better today. So for those of you that are just joining, welcome to Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty, where we nurture women's wellness from the inside out. I'm your hostess, Qala Yakachaa. And tonight we're tuning into our gut instincts, literally. We're diving deep into IBS, or Irritable Bowel Syndrome, a condition that affects millions of women, but often goes unspoken. So let's shine some light, share some solutions, and create a path towards balance and healing. And know this, you're not alone, and relief is possible. So let's get into it. If there's any of you out there that deal with IBS, you know what I'm talking about. And some of you may be dealing with some of the symptoms, but not quite sure if this may be what you're dealing with, but we'll talk about all of that, okay? So what is IBS? Irritable Bowel Syndrome, commonly called IBS, is a chronic condition that affects the large intestine. And I'm going to put a picture up here so you can see what I'm talking about. So it affects the large intestine. Symptoms can include cramping, abdominal pain, bloating, gas, diarrhea, constipation, or a mix of both. But here's what's important to know. IBS doesn't cause permanent damage to your intestines. That's great news, right? It's a functional disorder, meaning the way your gut moves and processes food is the main issue, not structural damage. Sister Leola says, I have suffered with this for years. Yes, Khan says, Khan. I think you're doing much better now, though, right? I think you are. Last I spoke with you. I pray that you are, sis. And here's a kicker. Women are twice as likely as men to be diagnosed with IBS. I wonder why. Why could that be? Well, hormones, stress, and even the gut-brain communication all play a role in this imbalance. So, we tend to stress out more than men do, don't we? We tend to be more emotional, right? So why are women more prone? Let's talk about that. I'll take this picture down. It shows the large intestines right here. And this is what's mainly affected. So research shows that fluctuations in estrogen and progesterone can trigger IBS symptoms, which is why many women notice flares around their menstrual cycle, pregnancy, or menopause. Sister Leola says, yes, I'm doing much better, but I have to eat extremely clean. Sis, we have that in common. We have that in common. Yes, I feel your pain. I really do. Also, the gut and brain are in constant conversation. And we've talked about this in so many of these broadcasts about that gut and brain connection. They're in constant conversation. Stress, anxiety, and trauma, all things women disproportionately shoulder, can fuel IBS symptoms. So stress, anxiety, and trauma can fuel IBS symptoms. We tend to worry more than men do. That's another reason. That mind-gut connection is real and it's powerful. So I happen to be one, as I mentioned, that battle IBS symptoms, so I truly understand what a nuisance it can be. It really can be a nuisance. So we have been really bringing out the importance of awareness of the connection between the brain and the gut in many of our broadcasts. So let's explore this article by Everyday Health, why IBS is so common in women. And I'm going to do what I usually do on Sundays. I'm just going to drop the link for this article in the comment box so you all can follow along with me. So I mentioned that I've been bringing out the importance of the connection between the brain and the gut in many of these broadcasts, because it is so important for us to recognize the role that the gut plays, not just in the digestion of food, the nutrients. It's also that connection to the brain. So a lot of people don't understand why they're having issues with depression and anxiety. And a lot of it you can go back and relate to the gut if you have poor gut health. But like I mentioned before, there are so many previous videos. I would recommend that you go back and watch some of those videos that we talk about gut health and the importance of gut health. So let's take a look at this article. And this is by Everyday Health. And it says, why is IBS so common in women? Sister Adana says, when I stopped drinking with my meals, it healed my IBS 95%. The lady in the photo at the beginning of this show used to be me. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting, sis. That you stop drinking water or anything with your meals. You just ate. You just eat and don't drink anything. And I know you mentioned that you usually wait, I think, is it an hour or so after you eat? Or is it an hour before you eat that you stop drinking? Drop that little nugget in the comment box for us, because that's important information to know, right? That's really important. So this article says Irritable Bowel Syndrome is a chronic condition that affects as many as 15% of Americans, but the gastrointestinal disorder has an outsized effect on women and people with female bodies. I mean, who else have female bodies other than women? Interesting. I think only women have female bodies. Okay. According to the American College of Gastroenterology, IBS is almost twice as common in women as it is in men, but doctors aren't exactly sure why. The Archive of Research has looked at the link between IBS and other conditions that more commonly affect women, as well as how hormonal shifts may influence who has the condition as well as how it manifests. We don't have a very solid answer to why IBS is more prevalent in women, but there are theories, says Rika Bardwaj, MD, a Washington University gastroenterologist at Barnes Jewish Hospital in St. Louis, adding that IBS is a functional disorder, a disorder where symptoms of an illness are present with no clear anatomical changes, and the pathophysiology behind symptoms is caused by many factors. Women often have different IBS symptoms. According to Ling Chang, MD, Vice Chief of the UCLA Board of Medicine's Vach and Tamar Manoukian Division of Digestive Diseases in Los Angeles, IBS presents in 3 subtypes based on people's bowel habits. These include constipation, diarrhea, and a combination of both. IBS with constipation and IBS with a combination of constipation and diarrhea both tend to be more common in women. Dr. Chang said, women also tend to report more bloating, the feeling of being full, and pain, as well as distension or pressure inside the abdomen, causing it to swell. Like many aspects of the condition, we don't know the reason for that, says Chang. One guess is the effect hormones have on gastrointestinal or GI function. Estrogen has some complex effects on the gut function, but progesterone and estrogen have been shown to relax the smooth muscles of the GI tract, which tends to slow transit time of stool, she says. It's thought that this is why women are more predisposed to IBS with constipation than men. Fluctuating hormones likely play a role. Hormones may play a role in other ways too. A person's menstrual cycle causes shifts in hormone levels that may cause IBS symptoms to worsen at certain points during their cycle, Chang says. Hormones are highest after ovulation. If a woman does not become pregnant, the progesterone and estrogen will fall right before menstruation. These falls could cause women to be more symptomatic right before they get their period, she says. Research has also shown that menstruation may make IBS symptoms worse. A study published in January 2021 in the Curious Journal of Medical Science included about 100 women in India who were diagnosed with IBS, who were given questionnaires to fill out during each stage of their menstrual cycle. The women were premenopausal, and most were diagnosed in their mid-30s. Most people in the United States are diagnosed in their early 20s. The researchers found that a significant portion of the women reported having worse symptoms while they were menstruating compared with other parts of their cycle. Diarrhea was also more common during menstruation. The menses appear to be a very sensitive time in the gut, Chang says. Women who normally have constipation may have more of it a week before menses, and then looser stools around time of menses. According to Cheng, hormone changes during pregnancy can cause heartburn or constipation before the uterus even expands. And the extreme shifts in hormone during menopause could also make IBS symptoms worse. Yes, sirree, Bob. A study published in October 2020 in the journal Neurogastroenterology and Motility compared differences in IBS symptoms between pre- and post-menopausal females and males of the same ages. In total, the study included nearly 500 people. Although postmenopausal women with IBS have worse symptoms than premenopausal women, IBS symptoms for men did not change, regardless of their age. The researchers concluded that this had to do with the way female sex hormones modulate brain-gut interactions, which affect both GI function as well as how symptoms are felt. Although experts are still untangling how exactly hormones impact IBS, it's clear that they play a role. We have unique bodies, especially with the interplay of hormones that can make our bodies more susceptible to certain conditions, including IBS, says Dr. Bhardwaj. And then it goes here into stress, hormones, and trauma affect IBS in women. According to Bhardwaj, hormones also alter how the nervous system processes information, which could also be a reason females are more prone to IBS symptoms. Females also appear to have more stress hormone receptors called corticotropin releasing factors, and some research has found that the hormones produced in the ovaries may be the reason. IBS symptoms are also associated with abuse and PTSD, which can affect women more frequently, says Sumita Garg, MD, a gastroenterologist at Cleveland Clinic in Ohio. Mountain Research has also studied the link between childhood traumas and IBS. A small study of about 100 patients published in June 2022 in the Curies Journal of Medical Science found a probable link between adverse childhood events, ACEs, and IBS, and found that women were more likely to report emotional and physical abuse as well as emotional neglect. A review published in March 2020 in the journal Cells found that some related genes that are associated with risk for depression during or after pregnancy are also linked to a higher risk of developing IBS. Certain related genes that are also altered by post-traumatic stress, PTSD, and childhood trauma are also implicated in IBS. Studies have also shown that women are more predisposed to stress in life, and how our bodies process that stress is different as well, says Bhardwaj, noting that stress is a noted driver of IBS symptoms. So that's really important, right? Oh, Sister Adana says at least an hour and 30 minutes before the drink would dilute my hydrochloric acid and it couldn't break down my food properly. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, Sister Adana. Shalom, Sister Kat. Shalom. Yes, the water for that, Sister Adana. And you said it reduced your symptoms by 95%. That's significant. So IBS rates are higher in women with other conditions, it says here. Research has also documented higher rates of IBS in those who also have other conditions characterized by pain. that are also predominantly in women, including fibromyalgia. According to the UNC Center for Functional GI and Motility Disorders, as much as 60% of people who have fibromyalgia also have an IBS diagnosis, and as much as 70% have symptoms of IBS. And I wonder if that link to the fibromyalgia and IBS could be, because I've seen a lot of fibromyalgia patients, and they also tend to be very anxious. A lot of fibromyalgia patients tend to be very anxious as well. So once again, that brain-gut connection, because of the anxiety, could also be triggering the IBS. Although the conditions are noted in different body systems, IBS is a chronic gastrointestinal pain condition, and fibromyalgia is a chronic muscular pain disorder. They do share common characteristics, including predominantly showing up in women and being exacerbated by stress. There we go. But beyond that, experts still aren't sure why or how the two are connected. Higher rates of IBS have also been documented in women with endometriosis, a chronic condition that causes endometrial-like tissue, the tissue that lines the uterus, to grow on other organs, such as the ovaries, fallopian tubes, bowels, and outside walls of the uterus. We don't have enough data to suggest that IBS is causing fibromyalgia or the other way around, says Bardwaj. But for endometriosis, there have been data that look into how the changes in hormone levels that happen with endometriosis affects the gut. Estrogen and progesterone can change motility, and they can change our microbiome, which are both implicated in the pathology of IBS. It says a meta-analysis published in September 2020 in the Journal Archives of Gynecology and Obstetrics included 11 studies that looked at prevalence of IBS in women who also had endometriosis, which can cause similar cramping to IBS. The researchers found that people who had endometriosis were twice as likely to have IBS compared with those who did not. They noted that although it's unclear why inflammation caused by endometriosis could also trigger IBS, the two conditions are also often misdiagnosed in people who have both. Even though endometriosis is an organic disease with measurable changes in the cells, and IBS is a functional disease, meaning that while symptoms are present, there is no way of measuring them. Therefore, it is important to ensure that patients are receiving a proper diagnosis. So this article goes into the treatment, and we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about treatments later. So, what are some of the signs that you may have IBS? So Sister Adana says the doc diagnosed me with both. Oh, with both the endometriosis and the IBS. Wow, sis. That's quite a lot. And was that a while ago? Was that a long time ago? How long ago was that? So signs that you may have IBS. If you're wondering whether what you're feeling could be IBS and fibromyalgia. Okay, fibromyalgia. Okay. How are you doing? I know you said the IBS is 95% better. How's the fibromyalgia? And that may be another topic that we can talk about in an upcoming show, is the fibromyalgia. I got it. I get it now. Not endometriosis, but the fibromyalgia. I got it. So fibromyalgia is another excellent topic. 15 years, okay, that we should probably delve into, because women are much more prone to fibromyalgia. Once again, it affects women more so than men. So that's another topic that we may have to really delve into. So if you're wondering whether what you're feeling could be IBS, here are some red flags to watch for. It's all about changing the diet. Khan. Absolutely. So persistent bloating, abdominal pain or cramping relieved after a bowel movement. These are some of the red flags. Alternating diarrhea and constipation. Mucus in your stool. Feeling like your bowels aren't fully emptied after going. So if you're experiencing these symptoms regularly, it's important to talk to a trusted healthcare provider. Get a proper diagnosis. Okay. So we've talked about some of the potential causes for IBS. We talked about the hormonal triggers, the stress, the anxiety, the PTSD. But as Sister Adana just mentioned, changing the diet. So what does that tell you? One of the main triggers is certain foods. There are certain foods that tend to trigger IBS symptoms. So here's an article from healthline.com, 12 foods to avoid with IBS, what not to eat. So if you're experiencing any of those symptoms that we just talked about, persistent bloating, abdominal pain or cramping relieved after a bowel movement, alternating diarrhea and constipation, mucus in your stool, feeling like your bowels aren't fully emptied after going, it's time to look at your diet. It's time to look at the diet. And especially if you've had the diagnosis already, if you've already had the diagnosis, it's really time to look at the diet. And I know I fell off because I ate bread. I forgot to buy, I buy my gluten-free bread from Trader Joe. That's the only place I really like to buy my gluten-free bread from. And I forgot when I was there. And I ended up buying some different bread from Sprouts. And my fault, it was not gluten-free. It was sourdough, and I thought, oh, sourdough should be all right. I should be okay with the sourdough. But not only that, but we'll talk about some of the vegetables that can also trigger these symptoms. And so there was a combination of things that I ate that, although they were vegetables, I shouldn't have eaten them. And especially with the bread that wasn't gluten-free, because that's one of my issues is the gluten intolerance as well. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about 12 foods to avoid with IBS, what not to eat. And this is another article that I am going to drop the link to in the comment box here. So this article by healthline.com, 12 foods to avoid with IBS. Let's heal our guts, ladies. Some people find that avoiding specific triggers like dairy, fried foods, and gluten helps reduce irritable bowel syndrome or IBS symptoms. People with IBS, I'm just going to call it that from here on out, may notice that certain foods trigger uncomfortable digestive symptoms. The foods that trigger symptoms often vary for people with IBS. So it's not possible to draw up a single list of foods to avoid, but some common ones can include insoluble fiber, dairy, gluten, processed foods, and caffeine. A doctor or dietitian can help guide an elimination diet while ensuring you still receive the nutrients your body needs. Many people notice that avoiding some common IBS triggers, including dairy, which for myself, I don't have dairy, alcohol, don't have alcohol, and fried foods, I don't eat fried foods, result in more regular bowel movements, fewer cramps, and less bloating. So if you're avoiding some of these things, you will notice more regular bowel movements, fewer cramps, less bloating. Keep reading to find out which foods could be making your IBS symptoms more uncomfortable. Let's find out. What could these foods be? Number one, insoluble fiber. Dietary fiber adds bulk to the diet and helps keep the gut healthy. Most plant foods contain insoluble and soluble fiber, but some are high in one type. Soluble fiber is concentrated in beans, fruits, and oat products. Insoluble fiber is concentrated in whole grain products and vegetables. Fiber tolerance can vary. Foods rich in insoluble fiber may worsen IBS symptoms in some people, but others may not have symptoms from these foods. So everyone is different. You just have to be in tune with your body. Foods high in soluble fiber may improve symptoms in many people with IBS, but can cause issues for others. The American College of Gastroenterology recommends taking fiber supplements such as psyllium as an affordable and effective treatment for IBS. Number two, gluten. Gluten is a group of proteins found in grains that include rye, wheat, and barley. Some people's bodies have a severe immune reaction to gluten, known as celiac disease. Others may have gluten intolerance. These conditions share symptoms with diarrhea, predominant IBS. A small study from 2022 suggests that a gluten-free diet can improve IBS symptoms in a significant number of people studied, though the mechanism is unclear. Another small study from 2022 found that following a gluten-free diet improved pain frequency and severity. Some doctors recommend that people with IBS avoid gluten to see if their symptoms improve. If gluten worsens your symptoms, you may want to try a gluten-free diet, which is what I'm usually on. Whole grain alternatives can include gluten-free grains like millet and quinoa. Oats are often processed in gluten-containing facilities, which increases the chances of cross-contamination with gluten. If you're extremely sensitive to gluten, you can look for products that specify the packaging that they're processed in a gluten-free facility. And I get my oats from Trader Joe's, and the oats that I get there is from a gluten-free facility. Number three, dairy. Dairy may cause problems in people with IBS for several reasons. First, high-fat dairy can lead to diarrhea. Choosing low-fat or non-fat dairy may help reduce your symptoms. Second, many people with IBS report that milk triggers their symptoms, but it's unclear if people with IBS are more likely to have lactose intolerance. And you can have both. Yes. If eating dairy causes digestive problems, consider switching to lactose-free milk and dairy alternatives such as plant-based milk and soy-based cheese. Some people may find relief by taking lactase enzyme when eating dairy. There are also some naturally lactose-free cheeses, such as some varieties of sharp cheddar. If you need to cut out dairy completely, you may need calcium from other calcium-rich foods. And you can see those, the calcium and the calcium-rich foods are highlighted. So if you want to click on that link to see what the suggestions are, do that. Doctors may recommend choosing calcium-rich foods over calcium supplements, as supplements increase your risk for cardiovascular conditions as outlined in a 2017 study. Yes, whenever possible, please choose foods over supplements, whenever possible. If you can get it from the foods, do that. But I know some things we really need supplementation on, but that's on a case-by-case basis. Number 4, fried foods. Fried foods have a high fat content that may be hard on the digestive system for people with IBS. Frying food can change the chemical makeup of a particular food, making it more difficult to digest. Eating fried foods can lead to uncomfortable digestive systems and even cause health problems. Try grilling, baking, or air frying your favorite foods for a healthier option. Food number 5, beans and legumes. Beans, lentils, and peas are generally a great source of protein and fiber, but they can cause IBS symptoms. Oh my gosh, do I know this? Shalom, Sister Paula. Shalom. Welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Sister Althea said, yep, I stay away from sourdough bread. I had awful experience with this bread. It's a no can do for me. Yep. It wasn't my friend either these last few days. And I'm telling you, the bread tastes so good. It tasted so good, I've got to say. And I was really chowing down on it. I really was. And oh my goodness, that was not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. We live and we learn. So it says beans, lentils, and peas are generally a great source of protein and fiber, but they can cause IBS symptoms. They contain a compound called oligosaccharides that are resistant to digestion by intestinal enzymes. And lentils are another, I love the taste of lentils. But once again, I had to stop eating lentils. It's like, oh my goodness, what am I going to eat? I can't even switch to air because the air is no good for us. You know, it's enough breathing that air. So I can't eat it too. But just kidding. But oh my goodness, lentils were one of my favorite foods. And now I've had to, it's been a while since I've had lentils. So when Ceciliola mentioned having to eat clean, a lot of these things that we're talking about would be really eating clean. But for those of us who suffer from IBS, we have to eat even cleaner than clean, if that makes any sense. There are just certain things that are on the clean foods list that we can't have. So it says, while beans can increase bulk in stool to help constipation, they also increase IBS symptoms. You may want to try avoiding beans to see if it helps, or you can try soaking dried beans or lentils overnight and rinsing them thoroughly before cooking to help the body digest them more easily. And that may be the thing. I never tried soaking the lentils overnight. So if that is the key, then I will most definitely do that, because I really love lentils. Number 6, caffeinated drinks. Caffeinated drinks, including coffee, have a stimulating effect on the intestines and can cause diarrhea. Caffeine-containing coffee, sodas, and energy drinks can be triggers for people with IBS. If you need an energy boost or pick-me-up, consider eating a small snack or taking a quick walk instead. Number 7, highly processed food. Highly processed foods typically contain substances you would not use to prepare food at home. This includes added salt, sugar, fat, and additives, things that we don't even know what they are, things created in a lab somewhere. Examples of highly processed foods can include chips, pre-made frozen meals, processed meals like hot dogs and fish sticks, deep fried foods, sweetened breakfast cereals, sugary beverages, energy, and protein bars with added sugar. Eating too much of these foods can lead to health problems for anyone. In addition, they often contain additives or preservatives that might trigger IBS flare-ups. Ceciliola says, hashtag absolutely no processed foods. Khan says, a 2019 review found that eating 4 servings of ultra-processed foods per day was linked to a higher risk of developing IBS, along with cancer, obesity, and high blood pressure. When possible, making meals at home or buying fresh produce is a healthy alternative to highly processed foods. Number 8, sugar-free sweeteners. Sugar-free doesn't mean it's good for your health, especially regarding IBS. In the place of sugar, many sugar-free foods contain sugar-free sweeteners. Common ones can include sugar alcohols such as sorbitol and mannitol, artificial sweeteners such as sucralose, acetylsulfame, potassium, and aspartame, natural zero-calorie sweeteners like stevia. Research also shows that sugar alcohols are hard for the body to absorb, especially in people with IBS, causing gas, digestive discomfort, and laxative effects. Artificial sweeteners may negatively affect the gut microbiome and increase inflammation, according to 2021 research. I mean, why these artificial sweeteners, they're more harmful than just using sugar or honey in moderation. We would much rather get something artificial than something natural, because we've been made to believe that the natural stuff is worse for us than the artificial stuff. Okay. Reading the ingredient labels of any sugar-free products can help you avoid these compounds. Number 9, chocolate. Chocolate. So who are the chocolate lovers out there? Chocolate bars and candy can trigger IBS due to their fat and sugar content. They also commonly contain lactose and caffeine. Some people experience constipation after eating chocolate. Some vegan options for chocolate lovers may be more tolerable for people with IBS. Number 10, alcohol. Alcohol is a common trigger for people with IBS because of how the body digests it. Also, drinking alcohol can lead to dehydration, which affects digestion. Beer may cause additional harmful effects because it often contains gluten. Wines and mixed drinks can contain high amounts of sugar. Limited alcoholic beverages may help reduce symptoms related to IBS. If you drink alcohol, consider a gluten-free beer or a drink mixed with plain seltzer without artificial sweeteners or added sugar. Number 11, garlic and onions. Wow, garlic and onions can add flavor to food, but they contain fructans, an oligosaccharide, which can be difficult for your intestine to break down. This may cause gas. Painful gas and cramping can result from raw garlic and onions. Even cooked versions of these foods can be triggers for some people with IBS. I can eat the cooked versions of the onions and garlic. I can't eat the raw. Doesn't work for me. And number 12, cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables are also difficult for the body to digest and may trigger IBS symptoms. This can include broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts. And I love all of those. I really like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts. Life is tough for us IBS sufferers, isn't it? We want to eat healthy, but oh my goodness, some of the things that are so good for us can be so bad for us. When your digestive system breaks these food down, it causes gas and constipation. These vegetables may even cause these symptoms in people who don't have IBS. Cooking vegetables make them easier to digest, so consider roasting or sauteing broccoli and cauliflower if eating them raw bothers your digestive system. And I eat the cooked of all of those, but even with the cooking the cabbage at times, that flares me up. I usually have no issues with the Brussels sprouts, the broccoli or cauliflower, if, like it says here, if it's cooked. Can't eat them raw. So what to eat instead? What to eat instead? So some doctors recommend people with IBS to follow the low FODMAP diet. And FODMAP stands for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. These are fermentable, short-chain carbohydrates. A low FODMAP diet limits food rich in these carbohydrates. So research suggests that the small intestine cannot easily absorb food containing FODMAPs, which is the list of, like I said, the fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. They may cause digestive systems. So food that contain FODMAPs include most dairy products, some fruits, including apples, cherries, and mango. Wouldn't you know? Wouldn't you know? Some vegetables, including beans, lentils, cabbage, and cauliflower, wheat and rye, high fructose corn syrup, sweeteners such as sorbitol, maltitol, and xylitol. While avoiding the foods above, you can still enjoy a huge range of foods with low FODMAP scores. For starters, foods that don't contain carbohydrates are low in FODMAPs are allowed in this diet. This can include fish and other meats, eggs, butter and oils, hard cheeses. Other healthful, low FODMAP foods that you can enjoy may include lactose-free dairy products, some fruits including bananas, blueberries, grapes, kiwis, oranges, and pineapples. I love those. Some vegetables including carrots, celery, eggplant, green beans, kale, pumpkin, spinach, and potato. Quinoa, rice, millet, and cornmeal. Firm and medium tofu, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, and sunflower seeds. However, eating a large serving of low FODMAP foods may still provide many FODMAPs. So once again, it has to be in moderation. The low FODMAP diet involves elimination and reintroduction phases and may be difficult to follow without the help of a healthcare professional. Not everyone with IBS is sensitive to all FODMAPs. If you want to try a low FODMAP diet, talk with a healthcare professional trained in digestive conditions, such as a registered dietitian or gastroenterologist. So this goes into frequently asked questions. Sisters, you have the article. It talks about what triggers IBS flare-ups. And in summary, it says here, everyone's digestion and food triggers are different. Some people with IBS can tolerate foods that others cannot. Get to know your body. Learn which foods make you feel the best and limit those that cause uncomfortable symptoms. Keeping a food and symptom diary can help determine which foods to eat and avoid. If you need extra help with your diet in relation to IBS, scheduling an appointment with a registered dietitian is a good choice, and I would highly recommend that. Especially if you're going to look at the elimination and reintroduction of these foods, it would be beneficial to be guided on that path. So with the FODMAP, these are types of sugars and fibers that are poorly absorbed in the small intestines. When they sit in the gut, they get fermented by bacteria, which causes gas, bloating, diarrhea, or constipation, the classic IBS symptoms. So what are some of the other triggers that can cause IBS symptoms to flare up that may be overlooked? We talked about stress and anxiety. Stress can alter the gut motility, the movement of the peristalsis, the movement of the intestines, which increases inflammation and change the gut microbiota, all of which can worsen the IBS symptoms. Travel, changes in diet, routines, and stress related to travel can trigger IBS flare-ups. I am one that when I travel, not all the time, but a lot of the times when I travel, and especially if it's in inclement weather, where we know there's going to be a lot of turbulence, or because of the I think it's the stress that's involved with the traveling, I tend to have a flare up during travel. So that definitely applies to me. Medications. Some medications, including certain supplements, can affect gut function and trigger or worsen IBS symptoms. Also, infections. Severe digestive tract infections like gastroenteritis can sometimes lead to the development of IBS. So now that we know what some of the potential causes for IBS symptoms, what can we do naturally to soothe IBS? What are some of the natural things that we can do? So while there's no one-size-fits-all cure, there are many ways to manage IBS naturally. So number one, mindful eating. And we have talked about mindful eating in so many of our broadcasts. We actually have a show dedicated to mindful eating. So I would recommend, if you haven't seen that, or you need to revisit that, go back and look for our show about mindful eating. And part of that is eating slowly and eating smaller meals, which can help ease digestion. Number two, identify your trigger foods. Identify what those are. Common triggers can include, we mentioned dairy, gluten, caffeine, alcohol, and highly processed foods. Number three, try a low FODMAP diet, which we just talked about. A temporary elimination diet that can help identify foods that ferment in your gut and cause symptoms. So if you notice that whenever you eat cabbage or whatever it may be, drink coffee, that your gut is irritable, it's not happy, it's bubbling, you're having loose stools, then try eliminating that and see if your gut comes back to normal. Because most flare-ups last, depending on how severe it is, can last a few days, even after you have eliminated that from the diet. So what are some low FODMAP foods? Here again, these are gut-friendly. In the vegetables group, zucchini, carrots, spinach, cucumber, and eggplant. The fruits category, or the fruit group, strawberries, blueberries, oranges, kiwi, and it says here, unripe bananas. Dairy must be lactose-free. Lactose-free milk, hard cheeses such as cheddar or Parmesan, plant milks such as almond, coconut. I drink oat milk. I really like oat milk. Grains, rice, oats, quinoa, and gluten-free breads. I have to tell myself that. Do not do that again. Do not go after the sourdough bread again. It is not my friend. Proteins, chicken, eggs, fish, beef. And sweeteners, maple syrup is on the list of sweeteners. So those are some gut-friendly foods. So some quick important notes here. Low FODMAP does not mean no fiber. You can still get healthy fiber, just more of the gut-friendly kinds. The low FODMAP diet is usually done in 3 phases. Number 1, elimination, which removes the high FODMAP foods. Reintroduction, slowly reintroduce the foods to see which one causes issues, and you would introduce them one at a time. And then personalization, which is building your long-term diet based on what you tolerate. So it's not just going according to the list that we say are low FODMAP, because there may be something on there that still may trigger your IBS. So this is best done with a nutritionist, if possible, because doing this long-term can be pretty tricky. So I'm going to show this short video here. It's called Discover the Incredible Power of a Low FODMAP Diet by Healthline Gut Health. Let's watch this video.
Today, we're talking about the low FODMAP diet. If you've been struggling with bloating or gas or have been diagnosed with Irritable Bowel Syndrome, aka IBS, then you've probably heard of the low FODMAP diet. Hi, I'm Lisa Valenti, registered dietitian with Healthline. The low FODMAP diet reduces your intake of certain carbohydrates that are hard to digest and may cause pesky digestive symptoms in some people. The tricky part, FODMAPs are found in foods that we typically think of as healthy. So what are FODMAPs and how does the low FODMAP diet work? Let's break it down. What are FODMAPs? First things first, let's talk about what FODMAP stands for. FODMAP is an acronym for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. These words might sound confusing, but don't worry, we'll help simplify them. FODMAPs are a group of short-chain carbohydrates, or in other words, certain sugars and fibers that are poorly absorbed in the small intestine. These carbs travel to the large intestine, where they're fermented by bacteria, which may cause gas, bloating, and discomfort. Lactose, for example, is a common FODMAP that's found in dairy products like milk. Fructose, a sugar found in many fruits and vegetables, is another example of a FODMAP. For people who have digestive sensitivities like IBS, consuming too many FODMAPs can trigger uncomfortable GI symptoms. What are the benefits of eating a low FODMAP diet? A low FODMAP diet is designed to reduce or eliminate foods high in FODMAPs to give your gut a break. The diet's been mostly studied in people with IBS, and many studies have found that the low FODMAP diet significantly improves GI symptoms and even improves quality of life in adults with IBS. Because GI symptoms can cause stress and have been linked with anxiety and depression, a low FODMAP diet may have some psychological benefits as well. Still, keep in mind that not everyone is sensitive to high FODMAP foods, and the diet may not be helpful for everyone. High FODMAP foods to avoid. Okay, let's take a closer look at what foods are considered high in FODMAPs and may need to be avoided or reduced if you're going to try this style of eating. Foods like onions and garlic, which are staples in many recipes, can be tough on the gut because they contain high levels of fructans, a type of oligosaccharide. Other high fructan foods include wheat, spelt, rye, barley, dates, dried figs, and cashews. Galactans, another FODMAP, are commonly found in legumes, including beans and lentils. And fruits like apples and watermelon are high in a sugar called fructose, which can also trigger digestive issues. Dairy products, especially those containing lactose, are another common culprit. Lactose is a type of disaccharide that some people can't properly digest. You can learn more about foods that are high in FODMAPs on healthline.com. We'll link an article down below. And for even more tips and recipes, sign up for our digestive health newsletter. You guessed it, link down below. While the list of high FODMAP foods may seem overwhelming, there are many low FODMAP foods to fill your plate with instead. Examples include bell peppers, strawberries, zucchini, corn, rice, and lactose-free dairy products. Let's take a look at a few others. Animal-based proteins like meat, poultry, fish, and eggs. Certain nuts and seeds, including macadamia nuts, pine nuts, peanuts, and sesame seeds. Certain fruits like oranges, strawberries, kiwi, cantaloupe, lemons, limes, and grapefruit. Many vegetables, including bell peppers, carrots, cucumbers, kale, spinach, potatoes, tomatoes, and zucchini. Wheat-free grains like corn, quinoa, oats, rice, and sorghum. Lactose-free dairy products and dairy alternatives like almond milk. Low-lactose cheeses, including most hard cheeses, and some aged softer varieties like brie or camembert. All fats and oils, most herbs and spices. So how to do this diet and when to seek help. Following a low FODMAP diet can seem daunting, but it's totally manageable with a little planning and help from a nutrition professional like a registered dietitian. There are 3 main phases to a low FODMAP diet. Phase 1, elimination. During the elimination period, you'll avoid all high FODMAP foods for about 2 to 4 weeks. During this time, you'll see how your body reacts and whether your symptoms improve. To avoid nutrient deficiencies and ensure you're still eating a balanced diet, it's important to work with a registered dietitian or other healthcare professional during this phase. Phase 2, reintroduction. After the elimination phase, you'll slowly reintroduce high FODMAP foods one at a time to see how your gut responds. This phase helps identify which foods you can tolerate and which ones you should avoid or limit. Keeping a food symptom journal during this phase can be really helpful. While some people prefer to use a physical journal, there's also low FODMAP diet apps and other tracking apps available that can make it easier to keep track of which foods you've reintroduced and any symptoms you experience. Phase 3, personalization. Based on your reintroduction phase, you can create a long-term personalized eating plan that includes FODMAPs your body can tolerate. It's important to note that the low FODMAP diet is not meant to be a lifelong restrictive diet. The goal is to identify which specific FODMAPs are causing your symptoms so that you can go back to enjoying a varied diet as much as possible. And remember, this diet is best done under the guidance of a healthcare professional who can help you through each phase. We hope you learned something about the low FODMAP diet today. If you have more questions about a low FODMAP diet, let us know in the comments down below. For more resources and support, be sure to check out healthline.com and sign up for our digestive health newsletter. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more from me and Healthline.
So yes, wow. Lots of information, right? So what are some other natural ways to soothe IBS? Stress reduction is another way. Relaxation to soothing music, bath soaks. Bath soaks, sisters, get in that tub and soak. Go to ShebrewRoyalty.com and get your bath soaks. And even simple breathing exercises can help calm the gut. We talked about breathing, mindful breathing. So that's another way to help reduce stress. Probiotics and prebiotics. Strengthening your gut flora can make a huge difference, but choose strains that are IBS friendly. And then there's gut healing herbs. Peppermint oil, ginger, fennel, and chamomile tea can be soothing allies. And we watched that video earlier. There were 8 teas that was recommended to help soothe the gut. So, some top 5 natural IBS remedies. Number 1, sip on soothing herbal teas. Herbs can calm the gut and reduce spasms. Best choices: peppermint, ginger, fennel, and chamomile. Drink warm, not hot tea after meals to support digestion. Number 2, we talked about embracing a low FODMAP diet. We don't need to go over that anymore. We pretty much covered that. Remember to work with a nutritionist or healthcare provider to personalize it safely. Number 3, practice belly breathing or mindful breathing. Deep mindful breathing reduces gut tension by activating the parasympathetic or the rest and digest system. And like I said, we just talked about this not too long ago in the last 2 episodes, actually. So if you haven't seen those videos, please go back and watch them. Watch the mindful breathing video and learn how to perform the box breathing exercise. Number 4, strengthen your gut microbiome. Good bacteria equals good digestion. So probiotic-rich foods, yogurt, which lactose-free if needed, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, and kombucha. Or consider a high-quality IBS-friendly probiotic supplement. Number 5, create a daily stress relief ritual. Chronic stress fuels IBS symptoms. Build in small daily moments to reset your nervous system. Gentle stretching, journaling, walking in nature, listening to calming music. Even 10 minutes a day can make a difference. So here's a simple wellness ritual that you love and you will really love this when your gut is feeling off, right? So start your day with a cup of warm water and fresh lemon juice to wake up digestion. Sip on common tea blend throughout the day. And that's what I've been doing with my tea blend. I've been sipping on this throughout the day. Chamomile, ginger, and peppermint are my favorites. Practice 5 to 10 minutes of deep belly breathing after meals to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode. And keep a food and symptom diary for 2 weeks. It's a powerful tool to uncover hidden patterns. So you may be asking, or you may be wondering, how do I know if this, what I'm experiencing, is IBS or something more serious? According to the mayoclinic.org, you should see a healthcare professional if you have a persistent change in bowel habits or other symptoms of IBS. They may mean a more serious condition, such as colon cancer. More serious symptoms include weight loss, diarrhea at night, rectal bleeding, iron deficiency anemia, unexplained vomiting, or pain that isn't relieved by passing gas or stool. If you're experiencing any of these issues, or you're having symptoms of IBS but just have not been diagnosed, you should see a healthcare provider. So, sisters, IBS can feel overwhelming, but small, loving steps each day can bring real, lasting relief. Honor your gut. Trust your journey and know that you're not alone. I'm certainly with you on this journey. I am certainly with you on this journey, right? You are not alone. So, sisters, any questions, any comments? We are, wow, yes, we are at our 2-hour mark. All praises, all praises. So, real quickly, let's talk about next week's show. Next week's show is going to be amazing. Exciting news. Next week, we will be having a special guest, Mrs. Candy Vasquez of Vasquez Insurance and Investment Professions, VIIP, who will be conducting a presentation on Medicare 101. So you really don't want to miss this very important broadcast next week, sisters, especially if you are close to turning 65, or even if you already have. Candy will share a wealth of information next week. So I was so very blessed when our paths crossed, because although I was a healthcare provider for many years, I was ignorant to the Medicare policies. That just wasn't my arena. I stayed in my lane. I treated patients and I let them deal with their insurance with the people that dealt with insurance. So I was pretty ignorant of, the Medicare policies and so on. So it was in my best interest to learn, since I'm approaching that milestone. I am approaching that milestone. And I'm so glad that I met Miss Vasquez, and she educated me on these policies and, everything that I can expect. And so with talking to her, I invited her to come on the show, and she very graciously agreed to. So she will be here next week. Please join us next week and invite other women that are in your life that this may be of interest to them to join us as well. Please reach out to others that can benefit from that information. Medicare 101 next week. So sisters, that is it for tonight. I hope that you found the information useful. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and share it with someone who needs this message. Let's grow this channel so the information can reach Shebrews throughout the 4 corners of the earth, and even those that are not Shebrews but are willing to be a part of our community. We are to let our light shine so that others can be led to the source of the light, because we know we're not the light. We're just the vessel that is being used by the source of the light, Yashaya. So I love you and always appreciate you taking time out of your very, very busy schedule, especially on the first day of the week, and tomorrow being the first day of the work week, to have tea and conversation with me. I'm so thankful to you all. Tawada, thank you for your support. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Know that I'm praying for you. I'm praying for us until the Most High brings us back together. May you prosper and be in good health. Excellent health. Not just good health, but excellent health. And true healing begins inwardly before it is expressed outwardly, especially in the gut. It begins here. Yes. Sister Adonai says, sis, great lesson tonight. The water, sis, all praises to the Most High. You have a good night, sis, Althea, and a wonderful rest of your week. You too. Love you much. So I'm your hostess, Qala Yakachaa, a voice of reasoning and justice. Good night. Ahabatha, sisters. I love you all. Have a blessed week. And if it's the Most High's will, we will be back next week. Same tea time, same tea channel. Have a blessed and marvelous week. Shalom. Peace and blessings. Adriana, shalom, sis. Shalom. Welcome.